My name's Max Harvey, and I'm the seafood buyer for Jasper White. We're down at the pier. Boston Fish Pier is actually quite a famous spot. When it was built in 1918 is when the Red Sox won their last World Series prior to last year. It's kind of a cool trivial fact. It used to be the largest mover of ground fish in the world. I have a small but very good staff, 4 restaurants. 3 of them are quite busy, so we do deal with a lot of seafood.
I don't know, maybe if we're lucky we'll catch a few of these this weekend.
These are all yellowfins. Looking for clarity in the meat. You want something that almost looks fluorescent. We want nice, fatty, grillable fish that will look nice on the plate in terms of a medium rare cut. Now we can go look for some swordfish. So this is a decent sword. I can tell by the feel of it. It's got a little grease to it. The meat's got good clarity. So this is a fish I'm going to key in on.
All right, I'm gonna head back to the shop and I'll give you a shout over there.
This is a time of year people like to eat lobsters. Get the bib on, eat out on the picnic table like we are here. And the lobsters we use are primarily Canadian lobsters because those have the hardest shells and the most meat in them. Hard shells are, a premium lobster. Now you can tell a hard shell by squeezing right here. If that doesn't dimple and you can't press that, you know you got a good quality hard shell lobster. You can also tell a hard shell lobster by trying to squeeze the back. It might crunch a little bit, but it offers quite a bit of resistance. In the spring and early summer, lobsters shed their skin, they molt. That's how they grow. You'll get considerably less meat per pound out of soft-shell lobsters. But if you know this and you go out and buy soft-shell lobsters for short money, they're wonderful tasting, they're easy to eat. If anything, it just affects the claw meat. The claw meat gets a little flabby and watery, but the tail meat's quite nice, and a lot of people say they're typically sweeter. These guys are a little freaked out because they're outside, but when a lobster is healthy, it'll raise its claws in a defensive position, and its tail will arch back all the way up to here. That's a sign of a good quality lobster. Thin tail, hard swimmerettes, male. Broad tail, soft swimmerettes, female. A lot of people desire females because they have the coral, the roe, the red stuff. It's black when it's raw, but when it cooks up, it's bright red, and a lot of people think that's delicious. I happen to think it's delicious. It's a delicacy. That's lobsters, and that's a key part of a clam bake, of course. Another interesting topic are steamer clams. The steamers that we tend to buy are from Maine. Maine houses the best steamer production and the best quality. Look for steamers that the siphon isn't drooping out. You want them to be tight and compact. You tap on them and they suck into the shell. If you have a steamer that's got its neck slopping over like the trunk of an elephant, don't even think about it. A lot of people think of bright white shells. That is actually a sign of a little bit lesser quality. You want smaller size steamers with darker shells, meaning that they grew in a rich, earthy mud medium, meaning they're not going to be as gritty and they're going to have more flavor because they grew up in a more nutrient-rich environment versus a sandy, antiseptic, sterile environment. So that's something that's key when you buy steamers. A lot of quality shellfish comes out of Maine. Mussels do as well. Although I can't badmouth our local mussels because there's wonderful mussels in Duxbury. There's wonderful mussels down the Cape. Size can be very different. We tend to like these smaller mussels because you get more of a plate fill and the meats in them are quite plump and large. Make sure to look for mussels that are clamp tight. When you tap on them, they don't have too hollow of a sound to them. And, mussels do gap regularly. They'll open and close, open and close. If you find one that's open, give it a couple squeezes, and if it clamps right back down, you're good to go. See the beard? It's a fibrous growth that attaches them to rocks. You just want to pull that right off. When you wash mussels, if you put them in fresh water and fill your basin with water, the mussels that are definitely alive and healthy to eat are the ones that float because they're closed up tight. They have very light shells compared to clams, steamers, and oysters, and they do retain some air. The ones that are open a little bit or dead will fill with water and sink to the bottom. When you buy shellfish, request the tag. The tag has the date of harvest, the date of shipment, where it's been harvested, etc., etc. And these are required by law to sell shellfish anywhere. So ask for the shellfish tag if you're planning on buying the mussels, and if they're more than 2, 3, 4 days old, don't even bother. I love all these things. I love to eat them, and you know, it's summertime, so it's time to do it.